question for Coach. It's a two-way question. When you mentioned about a man leading the family, I've heard a lot of stuff. What do you think about people who say there's a new generation, we no longer need a man to lead a family, we'll do it by ourselves? How do you think these men should be prepared in the future to face these challenges? We'll tell them that.
That's a good question.
And you said that. It's a great question. I mean, it's interesting you mentioned that people say that you don't need a man to run a household. People say that, huh? Okay. This is what I will say in response to a question like that, coming from a young person like yourself. I will say that times have changed. Times are different. You do need to recognize the times and what is reality. And in this particular time, I believe what you're referring to is the fact that when it comes to the family structure within a household, and I guess the decision or the label of who is in charge is in question, I would think the best way to answer that question is try to eliminate the question. Right now, recognizing the times today, it would behoove you, that's a big word, it would be in your interest to recognize that if you select a partner for life in marriage, it would be in your best interest to give her the opportunity to be the best partner she can be to you, and then consequently to the family that you begin. So don't limit the help that she can give you, right? I mean, make her an equal partner and do it together. And that's my advice. That's the advice I would give, instead of trying to establish something that might be an old tradition, but that's your an individual opinion. But my opinion is it would be in your best interest in this day and age to marry someone and start a family and a household with someone who you are willing to get the best and the most out of them and not hinder or stifle them.
Thank you.
Who would you say your mentors are now as you get older in life?
His question was, who do you say your mentor? Who is it for? Okay?
Mr. Dunn? No, Mr. Dunn or Mr. Burgess. As you get older in life, who do you say your mentors are now?
Okay. Thank you for that question. That's a very good question. As you get older, your mentors or people that you look up to, they do change. Like I said before, some of my mentors are people in the field of education, people that are in the field of civic and community engagement. I have a lot of mentors. There's no limit, there's no cap on the mentors. Some know that they're my mentors, and some don't. But you, when I'm looking for mentors, I look at the alignment of things that I want to become and hope to become as you get older, whether that be, learning new knowledge, whether that be a position that I want. And I look at those characteristics and things that they do that align with the things that I want to become. Presidents, if you want more specific name, President Barack Obama. And let me make it clear that my mentors are not just all black because I'm black. Okay, I have all types of nationality of mentors, but just Coach Carter is one of my mentors. I've been knowing Coach Carter for quite a long time, and the passion that she has. I was at a school, and I don't know if she remembers, I think she remembers, but I always remind her we took a group of boys, and I was working at Dillard High School. Took a group of boys to on a male youth summit with, I believe it was Hillsborough, one of the county schools at the college, and we stayed overnight. But just watching her passion and her commitment to boys and making sure that they have opportunities was something that I gravitated to. And I've been doing that from the community through my fraternity and through work, and just a lot of those adjectives and a lot of those traits I try to use to this day. So, just make sure your alignment is together. The person that you look up to and what you hope to be.
Thank you very much.
To answer your question, mentors are people that you get information from. And so when you're younger, at your age, a mentor can be someone who can help you focus on a single thing, and that is your teenage development or your future focus. And so it may appear when you're younger that you have a mentor, but you really don't have a mentor, because even if you have a mentor like myself, you still have a teacher who's a mentor, you still have a parent who's a mentor, so you have multiple mentors too. But when you get older, like Mr. Burgess mentioned just now, when you get older, you do have multiple mentors. Some you haven't even met, but you're still able to get information from them that benefits you. And so you consider them someone who is mentoring you. But in specific areas, George Gaston, right there, he's a mentor of mine, has been for the last 10 years, because he mentors me in a specific area of my life right now as far as business is concerned. So when you get older, you can have different mentors in different areas of your life. All that means is that you recognize the value of information. And you don't limit your sources of information. Trust me, when you get older, you are able to eliminate some sources of information that you find that aren't valuable to you. But those sources of information that you do come across, that you know are giving you valuable information, you keep those people around. And so you will develop more than one mentor when you get older.
To touch on what he said, I would say for me, I would say when you're choosing a mentor, it's also by interest. Like for example, I want to go into the medical field, and I have two of my mentors are within the medical field. But going off of what he said, he also said like it will be tailored to something different in life. There are different fields in the medicine. One of my mentors is a pediatrician. However, I recently met another mentor. Well, we're in the works. I'm trying to shadow him and learn anesthesia. Two separate fields, two different specialties. But I'm being well-rounded within the information of medicine. So it just varies,
Great. So it changes, and I'll say this, and we'll get. We have some more questions here in the back. 4 more questions. Four more questions. A mentor doesn't chase after you. Did you hear what I said there? A mentor doesn't chase after you. You chase after the mentor because they have what you want to add direction and to where you're wanting to go, knowledge and information. So the mentor doesn't chase after you. You make yourself disciplined to chase after them. So we have some more questions, about 4 more questions.
Then we have 3 more after this.
Okay.
My question may be a little bit controversial, but I just want to ask anyone who's on the stage, what do you think about the people who dedicate their set life goals on dehumanizing us male individuals, or just in general, just trying to bring us down as a whole?
Question.
So,
They're asking a real question. Let's answer it.
Well, it's not controversial.
Yeah, repeat the question, repeat the question.
Yeah, take a minute.
I asked, what are your thoughts about the people who dedicate their life goals on dehumanizing us male individuals and just in general bringing us down as a whole?
Can you provide an example? I'm sorry.
Things such as KM, if you do not know what that phrase meant, it means phrases such as kill our man, or just simply like how our fellow asked this question, how they say that they simply don't need us in their said lives.
So, in other words, let me just,
Tell me if I here, how do you deal with set groups who try and dehumanize or minimize black men?
So
men.
in other
I
words,
know what he's saying.
there's a select group, and some will argue, majority of them, they come from women who hate certain type of men, or whatever the case may be. I think that's where they're trying to lead to, just being politically correct about it. But let's just throw it out there, because it seems like this is the second time this question kind of came up, and we just need to be straightforward on our answers.
Oh, I'm just gonna be quick. I think you gotta have your own belief, and you gotta have you gotta be rooted. You gotta in your beliefs. You know, you have mentors. You have people to look up to. That is one of the challenges that you're gonna face just growing up in life, because people have different opinions and perspectives about different things, and you don't have to agree with them. That's what makes, you know, us different. Okay, so just be particular about what you agree with. Continue to do the opposite of the negative, and just have your belief and just believe in yourself, and reach out to people who are doing the right thing. But that's
It's a good question because we don't know how to answer it. I will piggyback off of what Mr. Burgess said and touch on the fact that you have to. I know it being a teenager, being your age, there's a lot of things that go on in your world, in your friendships, in your relationships, and especially with social media and everything like that, blowing it all up. And I'm not familiar with, the talk that you're referring to. However, I will piggyback on what Mr. Burgess said, in that a lot of the times what you guys are experiencing right now, I look at it as a lot of what you're referring to is somewhat like white noise. I mean, it's distraction. It's stuff that's out there, and in most cases perpetrated because you have social media, that just warrants ignoring it. I mean, you really have to ignore it. You really have to develop a focus on what you want to do, both future professional or for fun. Because we don't want you guys just focusing on your future all day long. We want you to have fun as well too, but that fun needs to be focused as well too. And so you have to look at some of the situations that exist in you guys' world right now and learn to try and tune it out. Don't let it touch your emotions. Someone asked me the other day, how do you feel? And I said that I'm physically, mentally, or emotionally. I mean, because nowadays you do. You have to ask, you have to be more specific, because a lot of the times, and I deal with young people all the time, a lot of their anxiety comes from emotion. You can control emotion. You can. Nowadays, emotions are inflamed because of social media. But if you look at a lot of times, most young people I meet, they're okay physically, for the most part, mentally, emotionally, they're off the chart. Control your emotions by ignoring the white noise. You gotta recognize, and mentors help. Mentors help you recognize white noise, stuff that you don't, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything. In the grand scheme of things, society's not gonna change just like that. So just, keep focused on what you do and learn to block out things that they don't really matter.
This will be the last question. We're practically out of time. So I'm going to take this last question, but we're practically out of time, but we have to transition to the next room.
Yeah, I just want to know if you believe a male could have a female mentor, and if so, could she give him the proper guidance?
Good question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just said Coach Carter is one of my mentors. You can, but it's when you're looking for a mentor, you're looking for certain things and certain qualities. And like I said before, you want to make sure those qualities align with something that you hope to be. There's no rule that says males only mentor males. There's no rule that says girls only mentor girls. It's just certain qualities, certain things that you're mentoring them on. But yeah, you can have a female mentor and vice versa.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes. With that, there's gonna be two, like, with that, there might be two different perspectives. They're not saying which one's right, which one's wrong. And at the end of the day, you're getting advice from, depending on the topic, you're getting advice from two different perspectives, and then it's how you apply that advice that you're getting. Personally, like, I have a female mentor within school that helps me with, like, you know, education and math and all that stuff, and building myself up in service. And her perspective is different from what I'm learning in MTL. And with that said, I would say it's definitely, and it's just up to how you use the advice they give, because at the end of the day, advice is advice.
I will say this, and I will be clear. Mentoring is a word that is used to describe someone that provides you information and support. When your question was, can a woman mentor a male, I believe was the question, right?
Right.
Not if she's mentoring him on how to be a male. There's different mentoring. She could mentor him in education, but she can't mentor him on being a male. That's a different type of mentoring. So when you ask the question, yes, a woman can mentor a male professionally. She can mentor him professionally. She can mentor him educationally. But she can't mentor him to be a male. That's my view.
So I'm gonna throw a question out there, and just shout it out. So give me some words that you picked up today that you're gonna take away.
Discipline.
Discipline.
Leadership.
Great.
Accountability.
Yeah, great. Shout it out. Mentoring. Awesome. Great.
Good order and direction.
Awesome. So now for you, individual, each one of you, just identify that one word. For you, it might be support, might be discipline, might be getting a mentor, whatever it might be. The whole focus of this particular panel today was to provide you with information on positive male development. Positive male development. Mr. Burgess, Coach Dunn, Mr. Lawrence, thank you all. Give them a Thank you. I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. Hartley.
Well, all right. You guys rock. I want to